Simplified Chaos, episode 107.
Life is beautiful and full of chaos.
And it can get slightly out of hand if that shit's not tamed.
We're here to share how to simplify the little things to help you lead a more intentional life.
This is Simplified Chaos.
$107. That's insane. Hey, wonderful friends. Welcome to Simplify Chaos. This is Jillian, who's blown away by how many episodes we've done. And I'm with my co-host and handsome husband, Nicholas.
What's going on, folks? I don't know if I'm blown away. We've got plenty more left in us. But it has been a long journey. It's been a fun journey. And I'm excited to continue to do this with you every week. We took a week off last week, but we've got another great episode here for you folks. Jilly, what are we going to talk about today?
Today's episode, I'm not sure what we're going to call it yet, but it's all about lovely limbo. Feeling like you're in between, and it feels chaotic and beautiful and crazy.
Are you in the middle like Jimmy Eats World?
Oh, God. Stop it. I never know the name of songs. So the fact
That's
that
why
you
I had to say it.
I know, you're really good with song names, and I am not. Although I love Jimmy Eat World.
And you don't know that song? It's like the most popular song they've ever done.
I don't know the names of songs. You have to sing them for me.
Oh, I'm not going to sing that one.
Damn it.
Yeah. So, it's kind of like a variety show. I'm kidding. Yeah, we are definitely in the middle of some stuff, which is the reason why we didn't podcast last week. And we're actually podcasting on a night that we usually don't podcast on. Usually we do Tuesday nights and we release on Thursday, but it is Saturday. And so there's going to be a little bit of time between the time we record this and the time y'all are hearing our beautiful voices. But before we get into all of this stuff, as always, we love to show a little gratitude. So Jilly, what are you grateful for this week?
So many things to be grateful for. But what's fresh in my mind, basically what has happened in the last 30 minutes is what usually pops in my head. I am grateful for Cascade radio station on Pandora.
Oh, yeah?
I was jamming out on my way home from
Y'all
dinner.
Don't know who Cascade is. You need to check him out.
With a K.
Yeah.
Holy shit. So I went out to dinner with my cousin today, and it was about a 40-minute drive, and I was just like jamming out to Cascade radio station on the way home, and I was just like feeling good.
How many cocktails did you have tonight?
I only had 2, and then we took a really nice walk along the water. It was really dark out, but we got some fresh air and just kind of strolled around, and it was like super epic. But yeah, I don't really listen to Pandora that much these days. It's usually like podcasts or nothing. And yeah, I was listening to Cascade Radio in your car. Thank you for letting me drive your car. And
no
it was
problem.
Just really grooving with the beats.
So was it just nothing but Cascade, or was it like songs like Cascade?
No, it wasn't just Cascade. And actually there was a really good song called Hideaway that is just like stuck in my head that I can't wait to play for my students on Monday.
Is it Cascade or is it
No, it
artist?
wasn't Cascade.
Do you remember who it was?
No.
Damn it.
But if we just Google Hideaway, I'm sure we'd find it.
Yeah, there's only one song in the world called Hideaway.
I'll know it. It's a really great Hideaway song.
Okay.
Not like the other Hideaway songs that are probably boring and silly.
Fair enough.
I'll find it.
You will.
Yep.
We'll make it work. We'll go into the histories. I'm sure you can do that somehow. Mm-hmm. We are just rambling. Anyways, are you good?
Yeah. What are you grateful for?
It's very easy for me this week to say what I'm grateful for. And it's my brother-in-law.
Mark.
Yeah. The reason why we didn't have an episode this past week and why we're kind of in limbo is we are having our kitchen renovated, and we're still kind of in the middle of that. We weren't sure how long it was going to take, so it's been a little chaotic, but not too crazy around the house. We have some sort of a semblance of normalcy. We've just had to do some juggling around and whatnot, which we will talk about in a few minutes, but he's been just really great with like helping out. Like we did the demo ourselves, and when I say we did the demo, Mark did most of the demo. Like I was just kind of sitting there like, what can I do to help? But I mean, this is like what he loves to do. Like, he's a tradesman, and demo is part of what he does. And, you know, he did an excellent job and has just really kind of, you know, just been really great about saying, you know, and he works long days too. Like, you know, he works 10 hours at a time, and, you know, he's coming home and doing this stuff. So I'm just really grateful that, you know, this is something that he likes to do, but like just being totally cool and chill with it. And, you know, I'm like, you know, I'll pay you for your time, buddy. And he's like, no, I just want to, you know, help out. And, you know, this is fun for me. This is things that I like to do. But, you know, it's just been really great just kind of seeing him work and then learning some things along the way as well. So thanks, Mark. I really appreciate everything you've done to help us out.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's talk about Limbo, Jilly.
Yeah. So it's interesting. Usually when I hear the word limbo, I think about being stuck.
Yeah.
Or in between two places and...
In between two ferns.
Ferns?
You don't know that.
What is that
Zach
from?
Galifianakis.
Oh, jeez.
It's a little variety show he does. It's very... You need to check it out. It's actually quite comical.
Okay.
And it's just called In Between Two Ferns. Sorry.
No, it's
Go
okay.
for it.
I either feel like I'm stuck or da 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 da.
I have no idea where you're going with that.
Limbo the game?
Oh,
my
God.
God. The bar keeps getting lower and lower. Damn, Nick. Okay, anyway.
I get where you're going with that.
But I feel like the word limbo usually has this negative energy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in limbo, which means like you're stuck or you're in a tough spot. And I have to say, because my goal lately has been enjoy the journey, enjoy the process, you know, be in the moment, stop always thinking about what's next, you know, the future. I have really learned to appreciate this limbo stage that I think
Being in the moment.
Well, I think honestly that life is a full, long version of limbo because we're always going to be in between two phases, two parts of our life. You
Two
know,
ferns.
a past self and a future self. But I think right now it really feels limbo-ish because we have some really big shifts coming up.
Shifts.
Shifts, not
ships.
What is your deal tonight?
It sounded like you said ships. I was like, there's two pirate ships crossing in the night.
And one's called diversity.
What in the hell is diversity?
Oh,
I'll take this one. I believe it's an old wooden ship from the Civil War era. But we've a lot of shifting going on right now.
I said shifts. Anyway.
It sounded like ships.
Okay, damn it.
We'll take a poll.
All right. Anyway.
Chime in. Did Jill say ships or shifts?
We're really getting off topic.
No, we're not.
Out to sea.
Yeah.
Anyway, pull
Two
me back
ships.
in. You're going to make me pee my pants. Which is so easy now.
Well, yeah, I know.
Anyway.
Ever since Lucille, right?
Ever since Lucille.
Yeah.
God bless you, baby. Love you so much.
All right. So,
All right.
we have a lot of shifts going on.
Yes. Anyway, I think...
People are really regretting not fast forwarding the last 2 minutes of this podcast.
All right. You're going to miss something if you fast forward.
Yeah, don't do that.
Okay. I feel like it feels really evident. Like, I feel like it's heavily in the air because we're transferring basically our whole family to another state, like within 4 months. So I feel like there's a lot
going on.
There's a lot of physical, external things that are changing, which makes me feel like we are in this crazy limbo stage because we know that we're headed in a specific direction, physical for sure. Like, we're physically moving, and the fact that we're going through a renovation with the kitchen, it's almost like this kitchen renovation is like a metaphor for what we're going through in real life right now. Like, we're literally, it almost feels like a renovation of our life in a way. Like, we're doing this slight change, this slight, can consider an upgrade, or, you know, creating this dream life. Like, we're kind of creating our dream kitchen that we've created, and we've, started from a clean slate and like have taken the time to construct and intentionally choose things that we were like, this is what we would like. This is what would, bring us joy and be really purposeful for us. And it's kind of like this whole kitchen experience is like a metaphor for like what's going to be happening like soon.
Change.
Yeah, it's really crazy now that I'm reflecting on it. And I think if you can't enjoy a renovation of your kitchen, how the hell are you going to enjoy the shifts in life and the changes that happens in life? And to me, it's just really like honing in on my goal to just like embrace the chaos, embrace this in-between stage that just feels really evident now because of the big changes. And I don't know if I know it's in both of our lives, but I think because I'm completely like ending my profession, it feels even more so for me because I'm stopping my job that I've had for 12 years of being a public education teacher, and I have to like start off with a clean slate, so to speak, and try to figure out.
You have to figure out how to do a resume.
That's
going to be tough.
I'm just going to do this
you have
beautiful
one
art
thing
project.
of experience that you have to really put on there.
I'm going to put together a resume art collage and hope they hire me. No, but I feel like I'm almost starting from a clean slate, which is exciting, but it's scary as hell. So I just thought we would just chat about like what it feels like right now and just kind of be real with what's happening and how we're embracing it. And we're learning a lot.
We are learning a lot. It's been very weird. Like we planned this kitchen renovation back in September, I believe, is when, looking back at the plans, is when they were all being done. And, you know, the person that we chose to do the, contracted out to finish the kitchen, he was just booked solid through, just until recently. So, I mean, that's why we're going through it now. We started this, this idea back in September. It's now the second week. We're going on the second week in February. And between the time that we decided to do the renovation and the time that it's actually happening, we decided to move and buy a new home. So it's kind of funny. Like, I see this as, either way, it's something that needed to be done. We had some cabinets that were broken from the old kitchen that we'd made open cabinets, which I don't know that buyers would necessarily be cool with. But, we're going to have this kitchen for 3 months, 4 months. We're going to enjoy the shit out of it.
Yeah.
And really hope that the person or the family or the people that buy our house get some long-term joy out of it as well, because
they will.
It looks fucking awesome.
It does. Yeah, so already, like, I'm trying to find the light in this crazy chaotic situation with two families. For those who are new, we do co-live. So
we do.
My sister and her husband and their little boy Reese, who's 1 year old, lives in the house with us. So there's a lot of moving parts involved in this whole process of just moving and then the kitchen. So, like all the kids are in the basement currently. Luckily, our basement is finished, and I don't think we've ever used the basement more than we have this year during COVID. It's like between you and your office down there, and now the kids, like that's a safe space.
I mean, we used to use the basement when you and I were dating because, there'd be people upstairs and we'd want to have some privacy down in the basement. And then we moved in, your mom moved out, and then the basement just wasn't getting used anymore. I mean, we do laundry down there. There was a weight room, and we were using the weight room / workout room for quite a bit. And then basically when Lucille was born, like there was no going in the basement anymore. And then COVID happened, and I decided to make the basement my office. I had it in the dining room for the first 2 weeks of COVID, and that just wasn't working for me. So it was like, all right, let's build some kind of makeshift desk down in the basement. So I've been in the basement every week since COVID started. And with the kitchen renovation, we didn't want the kids on the main floor. So we turned the basement into a fun house, is what I keep calling it. And I've been doing my work out of Lucille's room. It's been very interesting with the conversations because I have dolls hanging from the ceiling, behind in a little basket behind my head. And everyone's like, where are you? I'm like, yeah, I'm in my daughter's room. It's a good talking point, but it is interesting too to see how the kids react, because now the basement is this cool freaking place for them because there's toys down there. There's a TV down there now. Just, it's a completely new environment for them. And so like when we get back upstairs, Lucille is like, let's go back to the basement. You know, I want to go back down there. And so it's just been really interesting to see how they've been. And they really haven't been in front of the TV much. Like even though they have the same toys downstairs, it's just a new environment for them. So it's really cool to see how they've reacted. But yeah, it's been an interesting week, and I'm hoping that, you know, by midweek next week we're done with this. But I mean, at the same time, if we have to go through the rest of next week, you know, to get this thing done, totally cool with it. Like, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so like the whole day to day has been shifted, which has been interesting. And I've had to rearrange my schedule with, thank goodness for distant learning and the flexibility. It's like I'm able to like shift my schedule around, so I have a longer lunch break and I just tell the kids, and I can take my mom out and go for long drives with the kids, so that way she's not in the basement for so long. And there's been some really cool things that have blossomed from this experience of like getting out of the regular day to day, the comfort zone, so to speak, of what we were doing. And like even today, like we're not really, our oven is disconnected, and I know you really don't feel safe like plugging it in somewhere else in the house and using it. So we like learned how to, I know this sounds so silly, but Nick Googled how to microwave eggs today because we wanted breakfast, and we've been eating out a lot, which is, you know, usually we are cooking a lot of meals, but we've been supporting a lot of great local businesses, which has been fun just to like
we've hit up every single one of our favorite spots this week at this point, except for A1. That's like the last thing on the gamut, but
yeah. And so, you know, we've been experimenting with like new dinner rhythms lately and how to cook things in the microwave, and just finding creative ways to do things that normally, like we're doing the dishes in the basement sink, and we're using paper products more than ever, which I'm like usually anti, like, but it's like, you know, we're trying to.
We've also found use for the millions of plastic cups that we have left over from your sister's wedding.
I know, right? So it's just funny how,
does anybody need any cocktail cups? Please let us know. We'll ship them out to you for free.
So it's just been really interesting, instead of just, you know, having this attitude of like, oh shit, like we can't do this, we can't do that, like we used to do that but now we can't. It's like, let's see what blossoms from this, and what can we learn that's different or that's new that we normally don't do. And it's like this really fun adventure of like kind of living somewhere else, honestly, because everything is so different from like,
it is kind of feeling like we're away from home.
Yeah. And it's funny, all we're doing is like, that just kind of tells you the heart of this house is the fucking kitchen. Like you think about so many things that it does for the family, and so many things that happen in there. And then now, because it's like disarray, it's like all of the shifts that are being made just because of our kitchen. It's kind of crazy when you think about it, how it's like the soul, the bread and butter of the house. When
it really
you
is.
Think about it. And finally, it's getting some extra love, and it's getting that little extra facelift that it needed. And it's a weird feeling to know that like we're upgrading it and we're putting some loving into it, and then knowing that we're leaving it. But there's something so bittersweet about knowing that we're giving whoever buys this house. It's like when you get rid of something or you sell something to somebody that you had an emotional attachment to, knowing that it's going to be loved and used, and it's going to a family that's going to appreciate it. It just is like this warm feeling in my heart doing this. And
there's a lucky family out there that's going to get a very nice looking kitchen. That's going to help them minimize things too.
Yeah, with the open shelves for sure. They're going to have
Got to keep them bitches clean.
You got to keep
it looking good,
aesthetically pleasing. Yeah.
Matching plates.
Well, yeah, I just thought it would be fun just to kind of share like just the shifts that have been happening, and that it's been chaotic. And obviously, you know, we didn't podcast last week, and usually we are very consistent, but our mental health is more important. So it's like, I know that you were doing a lot of late work with inside the kitchen and helping Mark or watching Mark.
We were working, we weren't working like until midnight or anything like that, but we were working until about 10 o'clock at night, and then getting up earlier because the crew was going to get here at 7. So like, it was just one of those things where, you know, it was like, can we rush this? Can we do something? But I don't want to half-ass anything either. So, you know, I want to make sure that whatever we're putting out here is quality stuff. And I just wasn't at that point in the mindset to do the podcast. So, you know, that's another lesson learned. It's like, you know what you can and can't do, and don't force things just because you feel it's like the right thing to do.
Ooh.
Oh.
That's so important that you said that. one of our listeners reached out to us and in response to if we should record video our podcast.
Yeah.
And she had this great feedback to give us that just like, only if it feels good for you, like don't force it. And I said, that is such a good lesson, like in life, like don't force something, go more on the feeling. And so I just thought that was interesting that you brought that up because it's so true. Like, I think sometimes we feel like on autopilot and we just force things, and it could be like an external thing that's telling us to do it, societal norms that we feel like we have to do it. It could be somebody telling us that that's probably what's best for us. But I think it just goes back to just listening and feeling like what feels right instead of just always going through the motions and actually like really thinking about it.
Yeah.
And feeling it with your whole self. But I'm sorry, it just brought that up to me.
No, that's good. I think that's a good way to end that segment and dive into any resources that you might have, unless there's anything else you wanted to drop there.
The only thing I was thinking of is just amidst all this chaos, I just had this like question of, I think this is kind of cool to reflect on, like out of everything that's crazy right now and things are shifting, not shipping, what are the things that have stayed consistent?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
What has stayed consistent?
I think that says a lot about our priorities. Like, what are the things that we have made a point to keep the same in order to keep our mental health or our sanity? Like, I thought that'd be fun to like ponder for a moment.
I still think we keep the same routines and stuff like that. Like,
but what specifically?
Oh, I was getting into that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm bad at waiting.
That's okay. I think during the day, like you said, you've been taking longer breaks, but I think, we've always made it a point to go down and see the kids, or I come up and see the kids during our break just to see how they're doing. Eating has been, more together as a family because we're all making a choice on where we want to go out to eat rather than cooking here, but at least we're still all doing it together. It hasn't been anything like that. It hasn't been fend for ourselves, but it's actually, we've been more, I think, consistent because we've been doing that and eating together. Whereas some nights, you and I might eat early because dinner's already ready. And then your sister and Mark would eat a little bit later just because he's either waiting for her to get home from work or whatever. So like dinner has actually been a little bit more consistent this week with bringing all of us together.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
I just thought of it as I was talking here. But I mean, we have our Thursday little getaway for coffee. We kept that little routine going. So even though there has been disruptions, I think keeping a routine and, kind of staying true to what we do, like, I vacuum on the weekends. I did that today, just kind of keeping those same things going, really help out and try to minimize any kind of chaos, even though the downstairs, I wouldn't say is in disarray, but I mean, it's a little bit of a maze.
Yeah, and luckily we didn't have that much stuff in our kitchen, so it wasn't that difficult to like find.
Very easy to.
Yeah, it was really easy, and I find that I'm still going outside, or I'm making space to have breaks to go outside, whether it's like long drives with my mom or just to go outside on walks later in the evening, if it's not like during my lunch break. So yeah, and we still drink our coffee in the morning. We get our good local coffee. But yeah, you're right. We still made it a priority to do our latte dates. Mm-hmm. We still did laundry like once a week. Yeah, I think it's like those little things, our sanity saver routines that
they definitely are.
Have helped make this process easier. And then I just think I'm lucky to have a partner who's just flexible and just kind of goes with it and is learning new things with us instead of like, complain and say, this is that way. That's not how, that's not what we usually do.
It's exciting stuff that's going on too. Like there's just, because of so many moving parts, it makes this thing easy to be, just present and, there. Like there's just a lot of excitement, and I know it's going to be stressful over the next couple of weeks, just like getting the house ready to sell and stuff like that. There's some things that need to be done, and it doesn't make it any easier when you have two little rugrats, running around the house and stuff like that. But I mean, we're all in this together, and we'll get this house in ship shape.
Yeah. No, and I think that's
ready to go.
I think there's something to say. I know this is probably obvious, but when you are choosing to change, when you are in control of it, when you are the one creating it, it's you're much more willing to be open and kind of roll with the punches and, you know, the struggles that may come about it because you're the one that's actually, you know, motivated by the disarray. Like, you're the reason why the disarray is coming. It's because it's your choice to change or to create something. And that kind of, I think, speaks about, you know, just what we're doing with our life, so to speak. It's just, you know, there's chaos, there's craziness that it's happening, but we are actually choosing and creating the life we want. So it makes it that much more exciting, and just, I guess, the willingness to be positive about all of the craziness happening and accept it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I'm just getting super deep now. I'm going to stop just having all these life reflections.
Life Reflections by Jillian Kasoniak.
Yes, you know me. I'm all about words and
and now she's going to reflect on some resources for you all.
Oh, good gravy. I am. So the resource I have this week is the book that I read super fast, and it's more like a collection of quotes or poems. So the book is called Choose Them Wisely, Thoughts Become Things, and it's by Mike Dooley. And it's amazing. It's such like a short, like I took it to your parents' house when we were working there. Yeah. And we had the week there, and I feel like I read it in like 3 days. And it's just like just really easy, digestible quotes and just inspiration and just little nuggets of things that just, to me, I just prime my mind to like keep going, and what we're doing is awesome. And I found a little poem that he titled "Get Up, Get Out."
Go for it.
So the little poem he has first, and then I'll read a little bit about what it means. He said, "Be bold and go forth like it was meant to be. Your dreams are the gifts that will set you free." And then he has a little couple paragraphs kind of about like what the poem's about. And to me, this like resonated with like where we are right now. It said, "When you do what you can, the universe responds in kind, doing what it can with an infinitely greater and farther reach than your own. Suddenly, supernatural chain reactions are triggered that would never have otherwise been triggered. New avenues become available, and new vistas and vantages become apparent. Work is done behind the scenes, new characters are introduced, and the script is completely rewritten. Expectations are exceeded, sights are raised, and forces unseen propel you onwards, all because you simply did what you could. Don't wait for every duck to be lined up. Do what you can this week."
It's funny, like, I think a lot of people can feel like, you know, that's BS, but like until you experience that, you know, then I think that, you know, that it's easy for people to kind of dismiss that. But like, we're experiencing that right now. Like, everything that we've wanted, that we've, you know, been going for is like happening, and it's happening very easily. Like, almost like it was supposed to happen. So I don't know. It's hard to really explain, and until you actually experience it, like, you know, I can see how a lot of people are like, oh, you know, it's just whatever. But yeah, no, it's definitely a thing. And just the way that things are lining up for us and everything moving forward, I totally believe that.
Yeah. Anyway, the whole book is just like positive, beautiful things like that. So definitely check that out. Or if anyone wants to borrow the book, I would love to swap books or send it out to someone who would love to read it. The book I actually borrowed from someone else, so I have to give it back, but I would love for someone else. And of course I like underline so much stuff and dog ear it, but you know, I think notes are fun to read what someone else thinks when they read books. But yeah, definitely. I think that when I talk about the experience that we're having right now, I'm always like, I know it sounds woo-woo. But it's so true. Like, the energy that you put out, the small little actions that you put out to like just truly do what's fun for you, what makes life awesome. It happens and it unfolds in like the craziest timing, the most craziest probably package, maybe not what you expected, but it does actually happen. Good energy comes back to you full circle. I totally believe that.
That's right. And how about that quote of the day, Jill?
Cool. The quote of the day, I'm not sure who this is, but it's by Cornelia Parker.
Okay.
"I don't want it all to be pretty. It's a combination of loss and gain. Things are born, live and hang in limbo. That's what life's about."
See what you did there. the whole Limbo thing. Bringing it all together. Oh,
I'm
goodness.
done. I can never go that low.
No.
When I was normally we would do it on roller skates at the skate zone.
Oh, yeah.
I would never get that low.
Shoot the duck.
Shoot the duck.
That's right.
Goals, get some roller skates and watch my husband shoot the duck.
Is that the Take Action Challenge?
Get some roller skates.
Get some roller skates.
Yeah, let's see. Take action. Life is a big game of limbo. Find the good in it.
There you go. Inspiration from Jilly Kaselniak.
Oh, stop it. Boy.
All right. Well, folks, that's going to do it for today's episode. If you like what you heard today, do us a favor and write us a review or share this episode with a friend, because sharing sparks a conversation. Conversation leads to action, and action is how we're able to live a happy and intentional as hell lifestyle. We want to thank you all for listening today, and we will see you again next week.
See you later, y'all.